What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So we just got the data download for all of the anniversary Sugo Fest, everything that's coming. There is a lot of information to go through, so we're going to segment this up into a couple different videos. The first one though, we're going to be talking about the super evolution of the Super Tandem Luffy. Now the thing about this super evolution is that he is also going to be debuting in his own separate banner, so we'll just go to it real quick. This one right here, titled the 10th year memories, or the 10th year of memories for the Straw Hat Pirates Super Sugo Fest, and it's titled the Luffy part. They did mention in the reveal video that there's going to be more of these 10-year memory Straw Hat Sugo Fests in the future. Don't know exactly how they're going to structure them or what is exactly going to be entailed in regards to this. But there's also like a bunch of new rare recruits which we're going to be talking about in a separate video. As I said, I just want to talk about Monkey D. Luffy with his super evolution in this video here today. In terms of this structure of this banner though, like, yes, you can go 30 multis on this banner to get Super Evolution Luffy guaranteed, but I just don't think that's a really wise decision. But he is going to be featured on this banner. It is a Super Sugo Fest. It's going to be featuring some other Super Sugo Fests alongside him, and it looks like there's going to be some treasure map legends as well. So people are kind of thinking that this is going to be treated as a treasure map Sugo Fest, while we also have the anniversary Sugo Fest going on alongside it. Which, if that is the case, I'm not really a big fan of that strategy moving forward. But as I said, we're going to be talking about Monkey D. Luffy and talking about his super evolution. So let's go ahead and pull up this guy and see exactly what he is going to be doing when you super evolve him. Now, the thing about it is this character does change his abilities quite a fair bit from his base form. So while we already have a pretty fair idea about what he does, I want to go through the original Luffy first. I'll leave timestamps at the bottom if you want to skip to different parts of the video. But I think it's good if we talk about exactly what this Luffy does first. You can see I do need one more copy to actually get this guy with max super tandem, which is a bit frustrating. So with Luffy's captain ability, he will give free spirit and fighter characters 1.3 HP, 5.5 attack with matching slot, 5 times otherwise, tandem slots are matching, boost chances of landing on a tandem slot, and if you use a special to extend, or if it says extends the duration of crew's attack boosts launched by specials. So basically, if you use a special to get an attack buff, it gets extended by 1 turn. And then you have a look at his super class, which requires just one of the straw hats, and the effect gives -1 cooldown. It buffs the effect of your orb boosts, and also gives a base attack boost to fight a free spirit. And then you look at the special ability, which will go ahead and give you -1 cooldown. It also does damage dealing special, which is important because that actually gets removed when he super evolves, which is a bit of a weird change. Removing 20 turns of despair is a big thing about this unit with that special. Changes all slots through block into tandem, locks them for a turn, and then if he's your captain, one of your captains in the top row, you get a 3.25 orb boost for 1 turn for fighter free spirit. Otherwise, it's just a 3 times orb boost instead. I remember when this guy came out, this guy was just bonkers. Like, he just big damage dealing special, and of course introducing the super tandem mechanic. I believe he was the introductory unit for super tandem, but the super tandem effect is just really good. Like, it's just a super solid, very easy to activate. You just need straw hats, but you do need one of them, either to be Sanji or Zoro. But you get 2.25 times attack boost, type slots matching. It's basic, but it's actually 2.5 right when you get it to level 5. But it's just a bare bones basic good unit, and we already know what he does in Rumble. He's a very, very good Rumble unit for the DEX focused teams, so we're really excited to see what they were going to do with this character when he super evolved, and how the team was going to change with you know, DEX focused teams with the super evolved version of this guy. But he does actually change quite a fair bit, so let's go ahead and actually break down for the first time what he does. This artwork, by the way, looks amazing. Big fan of the artwork. So he doesn't change his types or classes. He's still DEX free spirit fighter. There's no change there. But if we have a look at the captain ability, he's now going to boost Dex, Free Spirit, and Fighter characters, so that's a nice change, adding Dex to the mix, 1.3 HP, 5.75 times attack with a matching slot, or with a tandem slot, 5.5 otherwise, tandem slots are matching, boost chances of landing on tandem, and if you use a special to boost attack or change the attack multiplier of your slots, extends the duration of those effects by 1 turn. So this is, you know, like characters have specials that say change the orb multiplier of tandem slots to 2.5 or 2.75 for 1 turn. That gets extended by 1. So that's pretty cool. A little bit of unique buffs happening there, but the captain ability is more or less the same. It's pretty similar to the base form, just with higher numbers, right? We look at the EX Super now. He now has access to this compared to super typing. And this is a pretty big change because his super type or super class beforehand only required one of the Straw Hats on the team. Now it requires 3 of the following units. So you've got all the Straw Hats, Ace, Sabo, Shanks, Mark, Whoop Slap, or Silver's Rayleigh. So it's quite a lot is required to use this EX Super, which I think is a big drawback. If this was only 2 of the units, yes, you could actually make that work, especially because, with the Super Tandem, if you wanted to abuse that, you need 2 other units anyway, so that would actually work out pretty well, but having to require 3 of the units is pretty rough. The EX Super is a little bit different from what we saw with the super class beforehand, giving 2 turns of cooldown reduction, further increases the crew's attack, orb, and color affinity boost by 0.25, that's pretty cool, and then boost the attack of the next final tap performed by a Dex, Free Spirit, or Fighter character by 50%, so a 50% bonus damage is actually a pretty big chunk of damage there, and then Dex characters get Super Dex, Free Spirit gets Super Free Spirit, but the obvious thing that's changed here is that the super class of Luffy beforehand would give a base attack boost, and they have replaced the base attack boost with the final tap bonus buff, and that's just kind of how it is. So the EX Super, I'm really not a big fan of what they've done to change this, albeit the fact that the EX Super does provide 2 turns of cooldown reduction compared to 1 turn of cooldown beforehand. That is a buff inherently, but the activation requirement is what really hurts this unit. The special abilities also slightly changed, so you see that it gives -1 turn of cooldown, removing 20 turns of despair, so this is all the same, changes all slots including block into tandem, and changes the attack multiplier of tandem slots to become 2.75 times when they are matching. So that is obviously different. Tandem slots becoming higher multiplier is kind of like the effect that is being replaced by the damage that he would do with his special beforehand. The fact that he no longer does damage with his special is a bit of a drawback, honestly. It really kind of hurts because you can activate certain supports because of him having a damage dealing effect. So that's a bit of a drawback, honestly, but this overall does get you more damage. And then it also says that it will lock your slots for 1 turn, which is pretty good. And then if this character is a character on the top row, if he's one of your captains, Dex, Free Spirit, and Fighter now get a 3.25 times attack boost for 2 turns. Otherwise, it's a 3 times attack boost for 2 turns. So he's now changed from an orb booster previously to now being an attack booster. And of course, you have his captain ability that says if you launch an attack boost or some type of special that changes the multiplier of slots, it now becomes 3 turns. So with Luffy as the captain, this is 3 turns attack boost, 3 turns of tandem slots becoming a 2.75 multiplier. It means that tandem slots have a higher magnification than a Wano slot, for example. So this is just all around just giving you more damage. The despair removal with the special is really big too. Full board of slots, locking them. It's a pretty good character overall, right? There's not a lot going on here that would scream out this character is terrible. This is a good character. This character does not get limit break or level limit break from his super evolution. I actually haven't checked to see if his super tandem has changed. Oh, it actually has. Interesting. Okay, so if we check out level 5, the condition, it's just the same as before, but they've added the characters to the list, it looks like. They've added, Ace, Sabo, and Shanks. So characters like Mark, Whoop Slap, Rayleigh are not counted for this, but Shanks, Ace, and Sabo are included. It says that you must include either Zoro, Sanji, Ace, or Sabo. So one of those units needs to be on the team. Now the effect, this is a lot different, reducing all enemies' defense by 80%, ignoring the immunity and to status effects for 1 turn. Yeah, so that's new. And then also applies a tandem attack boost of 2.5 to Dex, Free Spirit, Fighter for 1 turn and makes type slots matching. So it is the same effect pretty much, but it now gives buff to Dex and also does the defense down through immunity. Very strange, but I guess if you have a conditional boost for defense down, once you trigger this super tandem, this will activate. Very weird decision to add this here to his super tandem effect. They could have done a lot more, but yeah, that's a weird thing to add to his effect. So that's the base breakdown of what Luffy does, but we need to have a look at the Rumble because the Rumble has changed drastically from what we know this character does. So let's go ahead and have a look. So you can see that his sprite there looks a bit different too, no longer having the Gear 5. And then the immediate thing that you see here is that he no longer boosts Dex characters with his Rumble ability, which is the thing that I'm most upset about because this character was like so good for Dex focused teams. And we were talking about how the new Ace that came out for the anniversary, the one with the Marine outfit of Ace, that character synergizes so well with Super Tandem Luffy because, you know, they're both, you know, Dex-focused characters. And now you have this who's now boosting fighter characters, and, you know, the new ace that's coming out, he's not a fighter character, he's shooter and free spirit. So this character changing from mono Dex to fighter focused is a big change. It really changes the way that you would use him normally. And honestly, leads me to believe, or leads me to think, I kind of don't even want to super evolve him just for rumble purposes, which is kind of crazy to say. But in terms of what it does, it gives fighter characters 6 health and 6 defense and 6 attack. That's already very good. And then revives one fighter teammate one time to 50% HP, and also gives self-defense up level 6. Like, it's a good rumble ability, but for fighters, not great. I mean, we have a pretty good array of Dex-focused fighter characters. You know, you've got Legend Garp, you've got Sober Mask, Rumble Rare Recruit, Don Chin Jiao, Douglas Bullet. There's a pretty good array of Dex fighters that you can abuse this with, but that's a bit disappointing that his Rumble ability has altered from Dex to fighters. His Rumble special is just a straight upgrade, targets one enemy for 2.75 damage 3 separate times, targets himself for a 2.5 counter for 20 seconds, and then when his HP is below 50%, he targets one of your fighters for a 100% chance of special CT 100% reduction. It just targets one of your fighters and fully charges their specials. So Dex Luffy does the same thing, but for Dex characters instead of fighters. So yeah, pretty big changes here just across the board. Resistance from paralysis, damage reduction versus quick characters. So that's the breakdown of Monkey D. Luffy with that super evolution. I don't really like what they've done. I really wish it was just a straight upgrade from the Luffy that we already have, because people are going to be in this situation where they kind of want to have 2 separate Luffys, and it does kind of feel like they want you to have 2 separate Luffys, which is a bit of a shame. If these super evolution skulls are easy to acquire in the future, I'm probably just going to, like, evolve him for this event period, because it seems like this character is going to be useful during this event, during the whole anniversary period. And then once we figure out how easily accessible the skulls are, I'm probably just going to devolve him back to base Luffy, just because I'm not really a big fan of what they've done with his Rumble kit. But in terms of his normal kit used in normal content, it is a straight upgrade in my opinion. But the Rumble stuff has me a little, you know, reserved. I don't really know how I feel about it, honestly, but let me know your thoughts and opinions about it down below in the comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.